Welcome back to the Elder Scrolls Legends Masters Series qualifying tournament. We have our top 4 lined up. I'm Justin, and I'm excited to be here.
I'm Charmer. I'm really excited. I cannot wait to dive into this top 4.
Right. We have some really top-notch gameplay, including a couple players we didn't get to see play yet, which I'm excited to see.
That's right. So coming up next, we have TurquoiseLink up against Burnthesky.
Right.
And it looks like bans have actually already happened.
Right. So we have Tilvani and Scout getting banned out, kind of par for the course at this point. You don't want to face both if you have to face one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Burnthesky brought Mage, Sorcerer, and Tribunal Temple, which we're going to see today. Sorcerer, I don't think we've seen anybody play Sorcerer.
No, this is going to be the first time we've broadcast Sorcerer in any of the qualifiers. Yes. I could not be happier. I hope we get to see that deck in the spotlight because I am a big advocate for Sorcerer.
Right, you're a big fan of Sorcerer, both mid-range and more control versions featuring
Worm King's Agent.
Worm King's
I'm like
Agent.
the only person on the planet, but
yeah.
I really like Sorcerer. In my opinion, it plays very similar to the Battle Mage decks we have seen. It's very good at fighting for control of the board with the ward creatures.
That makes sense.
I can't wait to see that thing on display.
Absolutely. And TurquoiseLink, a guy we've seen make some pretty impressive plays so far, gets to rock his Scout list.
Yeah, he gets to play Scout.
And that really cool Uprising Tribunal Temple.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm also excited to see that Tribunal deck on display again as well.
If you're Turquoise, well, it looks like actually we're going to see what they brought right now, as we have the double Mudcrab Merchant Sorcerer joining the fray of Mudcrab decks we've seen. And we have TurquoiseLink on Scout.
Yeah, this is going to be really exciting.
Now TurquoiseLink has his Hollow Death Priest in hand. How much do you think that's going to play into a game like this?
Well, it has the potential to be really powerful because Burnthesky, I don't have his list in front of me, but you have to assume he's running Tel'Vos Magister.
Of course.
Death Priest has the potential to come down beforehand.
Hiking Emmerich from...
Hiking Emmerich's another fantastic target for Hello Death Priest.
Shout out, of course, as usual, to the Hiking Emmerich guys who make some of the greatest videos in the Legends community.
All right, so Burnthesky making some decisions with his Mudcrab here.
Right. A little awkward. You're kind of penciled into Steel Daggering.
You could choose to save it if you want to. You don't have to commit.
Clockwork City Pilgrim Sanctuary Raid. So Burnthesky, by giving Sanctuary Raid to TurquoiseLink, is saying, I'm going to end this game before this matters. That's kind of a tall order.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, you don't want to give your opponent a 3/3 guard.
Yeah.
So that's more of a... I think that's more of a defensive pick, personally.
Yeah, a lot of times we see players kind of having to do some damage control with Mudcrab Merchant, right?
Yeah. A lot of times it gives you some great stuff. Other times, not so much.
Great. Yeah. Fighters Guild Recruit, kind of an interesting pickup from Turquoise here.
They've no move we can't.
All right, Indaural Mastermind coming down. So decisions early from both players about which cards you want to keep.
Right.
Some in the case of, what do I pick with my Mudcrab? Others in the case of what do I keep with my Mastermind?
One of the things we've seen with the Scout list is that it's able to run cards that are good in certain matchups and kind of less good in others because of how effectively with Camels and Masterminds and Uprisings it churns through its entire deck.
All right, so Burnthesky might have a decision to make here. The 3/3 guard, not ideal, but it swings for 3, and it would let him just take the other 2 face. He's kind of hovering over that Mudcrab, though, maybe taking a value trade on the Mastermind. And if that is the path he takes, I think Daggerfall gets developed. I think you swing for 2, develop Daggerfall,
I agree.
and get your value going. So
Daggerfall Mage, a solid card, kind of blocking out this Fighters Guild Recruit. Dark Harvester is a card you want to see on your first Room Prophecy. You don't really want to draw it on turn 3. But seeing Dark Harvester is always a pleasure as well.
Yeah. Now Burnthesky has some pressure. He can start applying to the face, finally, right?
Apply directly to the forehead, actually. That is how that works. I'm not that old.
What happens here will probably determine what he develops next, right? If he runs into a prophecy, he might have to play the Harpy just to keep things under control.
Right.
I suspect we're going to see that Clockwork City Pilgrim come down, though.
Yeah, 3/3 guard for 3, totally respectable here. In another world, could have done a good job of blocking off a juicy Viper target, but in this case, it's just 3 stats. And TurquoiseLink looking for some answers. Not going to be able to do much about what's happening next turn. Has a Drain Vitality, going to end up overdrawing. unless they ring out this word wall, which I think is pretty good play. It does mean you're not going to be able to Knight to remember it, though, because it's going to die. I think you develop it in any way, though. I mean, I can't imagine just overdrawing here. And word wall's also going to soak up some damage. Looks like 4.
Yeah, I don't think that you really want to overdraw as well. I do like the pickup of Dark Harvester that TurquoiseLink has. While you prefer to get it off of a rune,
right?
If he can survive long enough to get that thing going, it's going to gain him some health, and then that makes every Necromancer he draws potentially 4 more health with a guard on the board. I like that a lot.
Link decides, gonna take all this damage, gonna overdraw, because I wanna Knight to remember. I wanna blink my word wall to hit that level 3 Drain Vitality next turn. There goes a Necromancer, just gone.
Yeah.
Link down to 11. It's
can't help but think that Necromancer would have been something he would have liked in his tools, but
drops the Harpy. And Burn the Sky has Encano and Hiking Emmerich coming up. Wow.
Yeah. So Link will likely clear most of the board.
Right.
But we have powerful plays coming over the next couple turns between Hiking and Encano. Both can shoot damage directly to the face if they want. They're 5/5 bodies.
Right.
Kind of a tall order.
This is huge. This is huge. What happens in the next couple turns is going to be hugely impactful.
Now, you're seeing exactly, you know, I mentioned I'm a big fan of Sorcerer. You're seeing exactly why I like it. It is one of the better decks at snowballing its position. Like, once it gets on the board, it can continue to press its advantage. We're now going to see whether or not it can come back from being a little bit behind, which is always the negative.
And we haven't even seen the Bleak Coast Troll, the Young Mammoth, the overstated endurance minions that Sorcerer has traditionally used to evade things like Drain Vitality.
Yeah, there's still a lot of really high-quality threats likely in Burn the Sky's deck. Again, I don't have the list directly in front of me at the moment, but I haven't seen anything that stands out as too non-traditional, other than the Mud Crabs.
Well, the Undead Clan Sorcerer is pretty impressive, too. I like Shrieking Harpy on this camel, actually. Because, I mean, here's the thing. Burn the Sky knows that Sanctuary Raid is in Turquoise's hand.
Yeah, it's almost a shame he doesn't have a way to get another creature to die this turn, get some value out of that.
Arcade's beard. This day will be mine.
Another Drain Vitality is a huge disaster. Red Brahmin, not quite where you want to be yet. Do you just Sanctuary Raid? I'm kind of into Sanctuary Raiding the 2/2.
The 2/2 is a potential target. I like getting rid of the Sorcerer, just preventing my opponent from getting able trigger.
You know what we know? What we know is that Hollow Death Priest Knight to Remember is actually pretty great here.
Yeah, I mean, we know that that's like hugely impactful.
That would be the best thing you could do, I think.
We have the benefit of you know, seeing other people's hands. So.
Right. Wait, we're seeing other people now? I thought we were going steady, dude.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
I'm just saying
that's
it's
why
not
they call
exclusive.
you Charmer, huh?
I'm just saying it's not exclusive.
Not exclusive. I thought that's what steady meant. You're going to be casting alone.
I can't wait.
Thorn Hiss Mage kind of interesting here.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't drop the Thorn Hiss Mage, I feel like you've got to put some guards up.
Yeah. Hollow Death Priest so good though too. Still good. Still good. Also, it's not getting removed. This is tough. You know, Scout is one of those decks that has a million decisions to make every turn.
The Hist provides.
Yeah, Hiss Mage does come down.
Yeah. This opens up Dark Harvester Knight to Remember next turn. We see Corrupted Shade, one of the overstated, undercosted endurance minions. Also not great for Red Brahmin. Not a great Red Brahmin target.
Yeah, not a great Red Brahmin target at all.
No.
Hiking Emmerich has the potential to just blow right through that Thorn Hiss Mage.
It does.
In fact, as I'm looking at this, I could imagine a scenario where you Hiking the Hiss Mage.
Yeah.
Use your Windkeep to trade into the wall.
Yeah.
Because it keeps its ward.
Yes.
And then you might just suicide a Harpy into the Camel.
You think so?
because then that would be
It's a
3
blood magic
creatures that
spell.
die. And a blood magic spell, something like Drain Life to pair with that on Kano later, might end up being really impactful. That's the kind of gamble I think I would take right now.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, this works too. Ooh, face.
Yeah, there it is. There is the suicide, and he hits the Drain Life.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
This is huge.
Yeah.
To stay alive, you need to Dark Harvester Night to Remember. I mean, Red Brahmin keeps you alive in a technical sense, but if you're at 9 life, opponent has 10 direct damage in hand.
All right. So there's a lot of damage in his hand, but I'm not a fan of tipping your hand until you can do it. I really like developing Mammoth and Shade here.
Absolutely.
And just passing.
Absolutely.
Doing so means your opponent has to respond.
They need to Uprising.
Yeah,
And even that doesn't keep you alive.
Yeah, that might force the Uprising out. But yeah, you're trying to get to a point where your opponent doesn't gain health, and then you can do the full burst at 10.
Right, because if you just point in Kano at the face, TurquoiseLink's a good player. He's gonna Dark
Now
Harvester.
he might just remove the Red Brahmin so that the Uprising isn't enough.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this line as well.
Yeah.
On my mind.
Wow.
No, he just points it to the face. He tips his hand entirely.
This guy getting angry here.
And I'm not sure that's going to be good enough
Do you
because
think TurquoiseLink knows to Dark Harvester Night to Remember? It has to be on his mind.
I mean,
This is close. This is a big one. Burn the Sky.
I mean, it's the only thing that keeps you
guns
alive, right?
blazing here.
Like you're gonna probably trade Red Brahmin into the High King just because you want to keep the damage off the board.
Right.
And
But
then
the temptation has to be there though to, well, like Sanctuary Pet or a Thieves Guild recruit. Ulfric's Uprising. But yeah, that encounter to the face just telegraphs I have the reach.
Link's been playing this game for a long time. He knows those blood magic spells could have given a Drain Life.
Right.
Again, the fact that he went face,
Yeah.
in my mind, telegraphs my opponent.
Well, that's
has
kind of why I
range.
like the corrupted Shade Young Mammoth play too.
So let's just say
Yeah.
Link does do the Night to Remember Harvester, right? It's going to put him at 12.
Right.
If he trades the Red Brahmin into the High King,
Got to.
then he'll have 4 damage of soaking through Nkano over there. So
Yeah.
at 12, Burn the Sky can push 3 damage, counting the breakthrough.
Right.
So he would still need to come up with essentially 9 damage somewhere, right?
Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, here it comes.
This is
I
the
mean,
play.
this is the only
Right.
out. Hard to know if it would have changed anything because you have to like get into players' heads to find out. But I still question the Nkano straight face there. The greed.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Crown Quartermaster. Swings, pushes 1, goes to 11. That's lethal. Right? 1 breaks through. Equips the Crown Quartermaster for 6. Goes to 5. Drain Life, kills him. That greed got him. That greed got him.
Yeah,
I keep a
That's
spare
it?
blade
yeah. I
in
mean,
my
you're right. This is 100% it. I just
Burn the
I'm
Sky.
just dumbfounded that it went that way.
Yeah. Burn the Sky takes it home on the back of a Drain Life spell. Up
Wow.
1-0 already. That was quick.
So we got to see Sorcerer,
We did get to see Sorcerer.
and it
Briefly.
it punished
It burned the sky.
arguably the best deck in the game.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Sorcerer taking down Scout there. Now, Scout didn't have the greatest draw. TurquoiseLink did not have the greatest draw. And Burn the Sky had a great draw, but that was impressive.
I go back to that last play that Link made because you have to know
Right.
Sorcerer's probably run a negation,
Oh, yeah.
right? So just relying on the guard to
I mean, it's in the name of the card.
yeah, relying on the guard to soak up that much damage.
Yeah.
I understand with a greedy deck you want to be greedy. Saving the Red Brahmin means that Ulfric's Uprising buys you a lot of time, but
Yeah.
I would have just felt safer making
I
the
agree.
grade.
Wow.
Burn this guy's up 1-0.
That was an impressive showing from a deck we have not seen in our top 8 so far. And might see again if Burn the Sky keeps up this win rate. So Burn the Sky has Mage and Tribunal Temple left. TurquoiseLink still rocking Scout, Halalu, and Tribunal. If I'm TurquoiseLink, I want to run Scout back. I want to demonstrate why I brought Scout. And we talked a little bit earlier about how Link's Tribunal Temple deck looks like it's pretty good against Scout, potentially with the right draw. But if I'm Link, I want to run Scout against either Mage or Tribunal Temple. Now, if I burn the Sky, this is an interesting one, right? Because Mage, as we saw in Santos Velas' hands, can be a force to be reckoned with. But Tribunal Temple might be the pick if I think my opponent is running House Halalu or Tribunal Temple, because Link's Tribunal Temple deck is a little different. It's a little greedy, looks like it's designed to do things that the traditional Tribunal Temple deck is not.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically an Uprising deck in a Tribunal shell.
Right.
And I mean, I like that. I liked seeing him play it in the first round. I think that it's a really interesting choice. It's certainly, in my opinion, almost like a tournament buster, because the kind of decks people are bringing.
Right.
I'm excited to see that one. I know I'm going to catch some flack for this, but I kind of want to see a Tribunal mirror in many ways.
I would like to get out of here before midnight.
Yeah, like I said, catch some flack. But
so it looks like TurquoiseLink is on Scout again, and Burn the Sky is on mid-mage, complete with Halfinger Marauders, Lurking Crocodiles, which suggests a pretty serious dedication to Prophecy, and Mudcrab Merchants, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. This is
Dual Top the World.
Again, like a mid-mage, heavy with Prophecy. This deck, I finally got it up in front of me now, is a CVH-oriented deck in that it does run Royal Sage. Shout out to CVH and his love for Royal Sage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is an aggressive deck. It has a fair number of Prophecies, fair number of other aggressive tools.
Right. Dual Top the World is what we are watching right now, but Dual Top the World joins the ranks of Sanctuary Raid in terms of unplayable 7-cost removal spells.
One of the cards that I'm excited about in this mage list in particular is the Oculatus Agent. He is running
I'm a big fan
full
of
set.
Penitence. I'm a big fan of Penitence Oculatus Agent. I know you are too.
I think this is a fantastic meta to run that card. When you consider the number of cards that have 2 or more keywords.
Right.
We have giant bats running around.
Right.
We've got Fighters Guild recruits.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you can steal from people and benefit. I like the inclusion of this card.
I have to agree. I'm excited to, honestly, I'm really excited to see Aldrune Arms Master get some play here. I've always enjoyed that card in Arena. Seeing the rally work its way into a mage deck is kind of exciting for me.
So predictable.
The thing about the Arms Master is he skips leg day. You can't just do arms,
God, that was pretty good. I gotta give you credit there, dude. That was pretty good. Yeah. Burn the Sky bolting that down.
It's a defensive bolt, but he wants to.
Yeah, giant bat. Scout. I mean, I have to say, Turquoise is doing Scout things right now. Royal Sage, not where you want to be. I think you just Aldrune Arms Master the face here. That Fighters Guild recruit doing work there in the field lane. If Pete Hines is watching at home right now, I'm sure he's appreciating what's happening because this is his favorite card.
Yeah, he loves Fighters Guild recruit. He has a fantastic statue that was given to him as well. I can't blame him.
No, it's a great card. Its popularity ebbs and flows. Sometimes it's all over the place. Sometimes it just isn't playable. Right now it's doing work.
Yeah, I remember when the game was released, there were several threads asking for it to be nerfed and saying it was way too powerful. And then when Mid-Sorcerer was all the rage, it kind of died because there were just way too many cheap ward creatures.
Right. It's not great in metas full of Mid-Battle Mage, Mid-Sorcerer. The Item Assassin deck that was popular for a while also hates on it pretty hard. We have a lethal Royal Sage on the board. Kind of an interesting development. I wonder what the weight is here with Aldrune
I will
Arms
keep
Master.
Sothasil's people alive.
And we are Galen in Dark Harvester. That has to feel great.
I mean, I think waiting on the Arms Master is probably something based on knowledge, right? Burn the Sky, as long as that's in his hand, Link doesn't know what he got. You don't plan around mage decks having charge creatures typically, right? There's a bit of a surprise factor there, so...
Yeah, that's fair. It's kind of a low impact card. 2 damage, 4 magicka. We have seen Burn the Sky burn lightning bolts already. So the reach is diminishing, but with Camelorn Hero,
A little
all this other stuff.
distraction might prove useful.
Yeah, I mean, you might be saving that Arms Master to pair it with ward creatures in hand as well, right?
Right.
If you're afraid of things like your Daggerfall Mage dying to drain Vitality or whatever,
Yeah.
Getting a +1/+1 on it before you develop it could go a long way.
Of course. By the way, we have reached Duel Atop the World. Duel Atop the World.
Which is kind of fantastic when you have a Fighters Guild recruit.
It is. Is that how that card works? I thought Duel Atop the World didn't let you choose your creature. It just fought the 2 biggest creatures on the board that each of you owned.
I mean, it does, but it's not that hard to make that Galen disappear.
That's fair.
Gone. Repel the
That doesn't feel
Hey.
great, but I do like... Yeah, Galen did disappear. You're not
In
wrong.
case you didn't notice, Galen's disappeared.
That is true. That is true. I have to say, I really like TurquoiseLink from this position, but that mage deck has a lot of explosive options. And this is something we talked about, where sometimes as the scout deck, you want one of your runes to be broken. You want those extra resources. Burn the Sky has done 1 damage to TurquoiseLink so far, and it is turn 7.
I know that typically that means you're behind in the scout matchup.
Yeah.
But with the presence of Haffinger Marauder,
Yeah.
it means that you could potentially
Just
have an
blow up.
explosive
Just blow
turn.
up, yeah.
And if you high roll on the items you get,
Right.
puts things out of the range of drain vitality.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential there. Haffinger Marauder almost makes it so that if you fall behind against the drain vitality decks,
Right.
you're not completely out of it, and
Right.
I like that.
Now, how do you feel if you're a Turquoise next turn about soul tearing back Galen and shuffling more Dark Harvesters in? Are you into that?
I mean, listen, if he did it, I'm not gonna like second guess the play.
Yeah.
But I
kinda like it.
I have to question using so many of your very few resources that
Yeah.
you have on something that doesn't like impact my board, and I'm just banking on maybe I
Just
get
rolling
it.
the dice.
Yeah.
Right. That's fair.
I mean, these are high legend players. These are skill players, right? I think they want
Right.
the control in their hands and not
Right.
like chance oriented. That's just my train of thought.
I understand.
Camelorn Hero in Burn the Skies list, you see it down there. Very aggressive creature. I like the inclusion of that as well.
Yeah.
A little bit more reach.
A little bit more.
I
reach.
like that it can also trigger Haffinger Marauder,
That's true. That would be cool.
right? So you can play it and get an item on it, even though it doesn't have charge. You can maybe benefit right away.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which,
What
the
have
Arms
we
Master
here?
could potentially get an item as
Yeah.
well.
We're looking at some interesting options here for Burn the Sky. Totally contingent on what TurquoiseLink does here. Oh my God! It's Duel Top the World time.
It's a fantastic time to do it.
It is. That is huge. That is huge. Aldrin's Arms Master might get some work here, but yeah, getting that off the board
Yeah. In many ways, I almost wonder
is huge.
if Burn the Sky wants that back. Usually you want to save Marauder for the turn you're going to get activations, right? Having to
Absolutely.
play it and then not trigger it. I mean, you could see what he was setting up, right?
Right.
The Camelorn Hero, the Arms Master, they were coming in
There's
next
a lot
turn.
of great stuff. He did some math. It checked out.
Yeah, it's,
Mudcrab Merchant. It's got to feel a little uncomfortable if you Burn the Sky, thinking, "Well, I just gave my opponent an amazing card with the last Mudcrab Merchant. Don't betray me this time." But that's the dangers of capitalism.
yeah, I mean,
Sometimes
The
you
ol-
lose.
listen, Mudcrab Merchant might as well be renamed like Mudcrab Casino because the
Yeah.
house always wins. The players not so much, but that merchant gets its
We're the house, right? Because I mean, I'm into all these.
yeah that crab gets its septums whether you win or lose. You
yeah,
know what I
that's
mean?
true. That's fair.
Burn the Sky must have a really tough decision to make
Yeah.
on this mud crab.
Is it, dare I say, Immolating Blast?
No, I mean that's an easy one that you give up. I think right now.
Yeah, that's fair. Treasure Map. Bog Lurcher.
That I can understand. Bog Lurcher,
Yeah.
if it survives, swings for a lot.
That's
And outside of Drain Vitality, there's not an awful lot that those decks have for just like pings,
right.
direct damage. But Treasure Map, you know, it draws a card, right? It gives you more
Right.
gas. I
Treasure
think.
Map's totally fine here. Burn this guy running out of gas.
I used to be an
Ulfric's
adventurer for
Uprising.
years.
Not a combo with Bog Lurcher.
Not a combo with Bog Lurcher. You are correct, sir.
I'm still kind of into Solitaire Galen. Maybe you establish your dominance by shuffling 3 Bog Lurchers in your deck.
I don't even know what to do with that. No, I mean, I think you're...
You go
I think,
face, man. Those would be 12 power creatures.
I think you're safer saving that Solitaire because at some point Harvester's going to come down.
Yeah.
Having ways to keep bringing it back feels better than maybe drawing them. Hey, speaking of the agent, it's appeared and
He has arrived.
I'm excited because there's a lot of work that can be done here. You could either remove the guard to keep pushing damage face. You could get rid of the lethal.
Do me a favor. Say that card's name 3 times fast.
Penitus Oculatus Agent.
Faster.
Penitus Oculatus Agent.
Faster.
Justin Larson.
Oh.
Treasure map comes down, allowing for Illusionist to value trade into this Hismage. It also means an Iron gets picked up.
Iron's
and
huge.
if I'm not mistaken,
There's a Lightning Bolt.
That only gets Lightning Bolt.
That's true. That's good. Dark Harvester's eye, that yellow glowing thing, it's staring at me in the corner. It's brutal. Speaking of brutality.
Yep, the agent. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say agent should come down here because takes the lethal. I think that's more about getting the lethal on your 2/3 than it is protecting because like you still lose the Cloud Rest here, but you're saying okay if you play another Hismage or anything of that ilk, my 2/3 can chomp through it and I can push more damage. So
Regent's Camel, pretty welcome pickup here for Link, I think. Just looking for more options. You want to get a little more value off of your Uprising than you look right now, and hey, Necromancer will do that. Necromancer in a bat.
That's one potential play. Right now, personally, I really like Dark Harvester.
I really like Bog Lurcher.
I like Dark... of course you do. I like Dark Harvester because puts a guard out there, it gains you health. Well, it looks like he disagrees, but then you could have turned around and Necromancered and gained health again if needed.
Uprising next turn looks so devastating.
Well, that's just it. If you would have had a Harvester out there, it's even more health off of Uprising.
That's fair.
The Necromancer opened up that engine a little bit.
Yeah. So, Eastmarch Crusader is actually pretty great here. Turquoise Link a long ways off level 3 doing Vitality, or in Scout terms, 1 turn.
Yeah, at any given time, you can just pull it off. That's out of nowhere.
Absolutely. This is interesting. I mean, going face for 3 just doesn't feel that great.
Wow, and you get a Prophecy.
Feels considerably worse now.
I was going to say, it's got to be a Fighter's Guild recruit. We haven't really seen anything else, but
I don't even think Link is running Momify.
That is, like, good enough against that Mudcrab Merchant.
Yeah. Oh, we did draw another Mudcrab Merchant.
Not just any Mudcrab Merchant, but a talking Mudcrab Merchant.
It is more impressive when they can speak. Otherwise, they just, I mean, what, they just, like, leave product at your feet and hope you pay? The yelling kind of encourages the exchange of goods and services for cash. Septims, in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's important to let people know that if you don't pay, I'll pinch you.
Man, I've heard you say that before. Alright, so,
Burn This Guy, again, probably has a really tough decision because he's not making a fast pick here.
Yeah. Mudcrab Merchant. Devates Experiments, Chanter of Akatosh.
He did have a tough decision to make.
Wait. Oh, you do not want Turquoise Link to have that Chanter of Akatosh.
I mean, you don't, but that Experiments looks really, really enticing when you have an Iron because it will get back Experiments.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, Chanter fetches you a bunch of stuff, but I can fill my board almost, like, endlessly with Irons for the rest of the game.
Oh my god.
So that was not a tough decision. That was an insanely tough decision.
Ooh.
I mean, you don't want Link to have Akatosh. There's so many good things you can pull out. Solitaires start finding, bats or Uprisings, find Necromancers, right? Like, Chanter left unchecked. The only thing I can think of is maybe they thought, all right, Lightning Bolt, I only have to deal with 1 turn of Chanter.
Well, let's see what happens here. I feel like Chanter in Scout is about the scariest damn thing I can think of. I hate Drain Vitality. Hey, Territorial Viper. Solitaire. Really wants that Drain Vitality. Oh, hey, it's Mega Dark Harvester.
Wow.
It's really hard to track what's happening now. Honestly.
I mean, it's a fantastic uprising.
Yeah.
There's the Necromancer. Like I said, you know you're going to get it because it's the 6-drop in that deck.
Wow.
The good news for Burn the Sky, Iron's still alive because this entire
that's true.
taking experiments was a gamble.
Right.
You're saying I need Iron to survive.
Just
I'm
gonna
going to keep getting value.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe that he also just didn't want to give experiments to Scout as well? Like, there's no good card to give Scout there.
Both of those were devastating in the hands of TurquoiseLink. I'm looking at that that dank harvester at this point. 6 Magicka because it got discounted when it got drawn. And it's a 5/7 that gains 4 life.
I mean, you have to start the experiments train here, right?
I mean, what else are you going to do? I don't know. I don't know. Look,
I mean, it's going to make those lightning bolts free before the end of the turn.
What Burn the Sky has going on here is incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he's a couple Magico away from just like looping it.
From truly infinite, yeah. But Chanter of Akatosh.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to use the bolt here yet if you're Burn the Sky.
No.
Because assuming you're going to use that experiments on your...
Yeah.
In fact, I actually think using the bolt there might have been a detriment.
I agree. It keeps you from going guaranteed infinite.
Or maybe he just wants to get it back.
Maybe ancestors
knowing
bless us.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's the lightning bolt, chain ends. That was pretty impressive, though, I have to say. It's the kind of thing you hope to pull off every once in a while on the ladder. Seeing it in a tournament is impressive. This has been a pretty fantastic game, I have to say.
Yeah, maybe he really wanted to get that bolt back. I still feel like that might have been a misstep playing it first.
Yeah.
Making sure you get that second experiments back after you played it, I think felt a little more important. You didn't want to like muddy the pool.
I agree. Speaking of muddied pools, I don't know that a world where Chanter of Akatosh is in play on TurquoiseLink's board with 15 Magicka, and I'm playing Uprising Scout is a world that I ever want to find myself in, because I have to imagine atrocious things are about to happen.
Yeah, I mean the fact that Burn the Sky was unable to get rid of Chanter of Akatosh.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bad time.
Oh, hey, it's Ulfric's Uprising. It's Word Wall. Oh, I dream of pulling things off like this in this game.
Yeah, and you get to see it at the highest level of play, right? This isn't just, hey, I'm like on the ladder recording a video. This is...
Yeah. Howdy, folks. Apocalypse here.
Yeah, this is the semifinals of a Master Series qualifier.
Wow.
I mean, Link can essentially do whatever he wants at this point going forward.
Yeah. You know, my only regret is that Link doesn't have more space to fill the board. And Link's thinking this to himself, too. Oh, hey, Red Brahmin.
Yeah, Red Brahmin seems pretty good.
Pretty good, man. Like, this is one of the most powerful board states and hand combinations I've ever seen.
So, Super Dark Harvester coming down.
Yeah.
Gaining Link some health.
5/7.
Effectively blocks off the 2 irons.
Also, Link just shut off Royal Sage. Like, I think very intentionally. This is a guy who doesn't swing unless it means something.
My fight is done.
And yet, Burn this guy has seen enough. Wow. I have to say, Link just gave us an impressive performance. That is the most backfiring Mudcrab merchant I have ever seen.
We've seen it a few times in the Master Series qualifiers. Mudcrab Merchant sometimes does provide not the best options. That was the truest rock in a hard place I've ever seen. There was no good option.
No. And, you know, Burn the Sky almost had the opportunity to put 8 irons on the board, and that would have been awesome, and I would have loved to have seen it, but God, Chanter of Akatosh in the hands of a player like Link with a deck like Uprising Scout is not a world that I want to be in.
Yeah.
I'm shook.
Really, I think that game came down to 2 pivotal moments.
Yeah.
Having to play the Marauder without triggering it
That was painful.
was really awkward and painful.
Yeah.
Kind of put, I think, Burn the Sky behind on their game plan.
Definitely.
And then definitely the Mud Crabs backfiring, giving
Yeah.
the duel, meaning you lose the Marauder.
Right.
Giving Chanter of Akatosh
That was incredible.
it just didn't go well.
No.
Good news is, Burn the Sky's deck looked like it was performing pretty well.
It did.
Despite all of that.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
A couple of things goes his way. I think that Mage deck still performs really well.
Definitely.
I love the matchup against House Halalu. So as we look at what's left in the
have to
matchup
agree.
here,
With Burn the Sky's Mage and Tribunal, and Turquoise Link's Halalu and Tribunal, Burn the Sky's lineup looks stronger.
yeah, what decks they pick is going to matter a lot, I think, going forward here.
I definitely agree.
Mage into House Halalu feels great.
Yeah.
Mage into that Tribunal Temple.
Feels bad.
I think that feels bad,
Feels bad.
right? Because you're not going to get any benefit from the prophecy
No.
counts. Kind of the same thing, right?
Right.
Tribunal versus Tribunal feel a little bit better, but if Burn the Sky picks Tribunal and runs into House Halalu, could get overrun.
If we get to see Turquoise pilot his Uprising Tribunal against any other kind of Tribunal, first of all, I'm excited to see that level of control on control action, but I'm also nervous for whoever's playing against Link at that point.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuance in which deck gets selected here. So
There's also a lot of nuance.
yeah, I know.
All right, well, here we go, guys. We have 1-1 Link and Burn the Sky, and we have Link on his Tribunal Uprising deck, and we have Burn the Sky on Mage.
All right, I need to stop things right now.
Yes.
Just highlight, yes, he mulliganed it away, but that was a Worm King's agent. You saw Turquoise Link playing.
I don't know what you're talking. I didn't see it.
Legitimizes the card
Didn't
forever.
happen. Not legitimate. Didn't happen, actually.
All right, so Burn the Sky actually has a really good opener in terms of wanting to be aggressive here.
In terms of triggering Royal Sage.
Yeah, 2/2 drops, a 3-drop, and a Royal Sage are exactly the way you want to open up against.
Man, I'm kind of into playing negation here, but look at Burn the Sky's hand. Those are much better negation targets.
Yeah, and I think that's why you lead off with the Cleric of Kind there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is tough.
Burn the Sky says, okay, you got another one?
Right. Ice Storm. Nope. Do you Indro Mastermind just into this thing?
They've no
I mean, you play the Mastermind. I don't think you go into it. You don't want to give somebody a tome if you don't have to.
Right.
You're going to feel even worse if you top deck like Execute or Sorcerer's Negation.
I agree.
And you can't play it, so...
Yeah, and Link's deck is running the full 3 Executes, full 3 Firebolts. Rally.
Oh, I was just thinking he might get punished there for...
right?
I mean, it's nothing he can do, right? Like, you have to do the damage to get the trigger, but that's one of those kind of feels bad moments.
Yeah, Rally actually seems pretty disgusting right here. This is going to be a free kill.
Yeah, the presence of Wardcrafter means that Hive Defender does not survive. One potential option, because the Royal Sage has Breakthrough, would be to also just tome it, push a little more damage, and draw a card.
Yeah,
Burn the Sky has options. I think I like the Wordcrafter a little bit more because it keeps your health up.
Yeah.
Right? If you use the tome, you go down to 3 health. I think staying at 4 or more is more important. And we know that is even more so because we see the Ice Storm in Link's hand.
Right, kind of huge.
You know, if the opponent answered Hive Defender with another Hive Defender, let's say, 4 health, kind of a big deal.
Yeah. This is interesting. Burn the Sky is in a strong position here. His hand's a little awkward right now. You know, like, only using half of your magic this turn feels a little crappy.
I really like swinging with the Daggerfall first because if the rally hits your Wardcrafter, then you get the bonus when you play it here.
Right. No,
I mean, unless he specifically wants it on another creature, but
I'm kind of into equipping the tome for minimal value onto that Sage. I think that's the play I like. Also, and honestly, if I'm Turquoise Link, I'm super into casting into time Royal Sage.
all right, so gonna go with the tome. I swear, I have not been drinking today.
I don't believe that for a second. I saw you slamming whiskey not 10 minutes ago.
Well, whiskey doesn't count as drinking.
Miss Charmer, if you can hear this, get your husband help. Also, send help for me too.
So one way that Royal Sage can obviously still dodge the Ice Storm as if the Wardcrafter gets played this following turn.
Right.
Could also cycle an East March Crusader, if you will. I mean,
Right.
it would also die to Ice Storm, but you've drawn another card. By playing the Wardcrafter and the East March, that's certainly enough to force out the Ice Storm if that's your game plan. I'm really kind of excited to see what Burn the Sky does this next turn.
Yeah, this is a matter of how do I maximize my value if I'm Link on these removal spells. Burn the Execute, kind of interesting. Doesn't want to take any more damage.
And honestly, that's doing a lot to slow down Burn the Sky. If you were planning on using East March to draw a card there, it's no longer part of the game plan.
Yeah, Burn the Sky's ability to sniff out this Ice Storm is going to have a huge impact on where this game goes from here. But Turquoise Link last turn did a good job of kind of disguising the fact that they had it.
Careful there, friend.
Yeah, this is a great use of Magicka.
Yeah.
Burn the Sky protecting their biggest threat. Hey, you may have denied it before, but an agent of the Worm King has arrived.
I have to say, Worm King's agent looks pretty good here.
Yeah, next turn it's looking like it has the potential to do a lot of work for Turquoise Link.
Burn the Sky's about to draw 2 cards though, right?
Yeah, here's the thing. Not only am I a big fan of Worm King's agent, just in general, I think it's an underrated card.
Yeah.
In Link's list specifically, this uprising oriented tribunal control, I love the idea of being able to trigger its summon and then as such slay
with the uprising,
multiple times. I'm a big fan of that in this list.
She's gonna play Iron. Like, Burn the Sky's doing a great job of navigating around Ice Storm. Link is sitting on some powerful stuff, but Worm King's agent not as strong as it looked a minute ago.
I think it still looks really strong.
Not strong.
If hear me out, right? If it nukes that crocodile, you've got the 2/2 guard that either eats the Wardcrafter, and then the Iron basically has to get rid of the Worm King's agent. Like, you don't want to risk them getting more value.
Right. You're not wrong.
I mean, yeah, we know Burn the Sky has that Firebolt in his hand and things like that, but it requires you to be clunky in your plays if you're Burn the Sky, right? Like, it forces him to be reactive instead of pressuring Link the way he wanted to.
One of the things that I really like about this list of links, this Uprising Tribunal list, and something we talked about, right, is these Genius Path Mages. Obviously strong with Uprising, but one of the things that is interesting is in Link's list, there's the one of Worm King's agent, the one of Ancano, the one of Laneth, one of Supreme Atromancer, one Marak, one Odoving, right? So with the 3 Tree Minders that Link has access to, and the Knight to Remembers to potentially ramp more, knowing that you have access to these one-ofs along this chain from 7 to 12 means that with these Genius Path Mages, you can do some pretty interesting stuff, like a sort of toolbox.
Yeah, absolutely. You can play a Path Mage with confidence and knowing exactly which card you're going to get when you've done that. And it's not even just the Tree Minders. If I remember correctly, he's also running the Oathman. They're a source of ramp as well.
You're not wrong.
So there's a lot of ways to set those up, trigger it. I'm a big fan.
I agree. Okay, this is good. This is strong. Is it time to pull the trigger in that Ice Storm?
I mean,
it's not great.
It leaves behind the Hive Defender, but it does allow the Worm King agent to get rid of Iron, put another 2/2 on the board.
Yeah. And you have to think that the late game goes to Link.
Yeah, I mean, dragging this out, I think favors Link. I like the Ice Storm here.
Yeah. With Iron and Emperor's Blade to follow up.
Could just choose single target removal options as well. We have that Javelin. You've got Reverberating Strike.
Right. So Iron looking like something that Link is seriously considering. Not sure what that brings back. There's a Firebolt, right? No, there's a Sorcerer's Negation in Link's discard pile, I remember, which could be pretty huge. It's the kind of thing you want back. Kind of thing you want to play more than once.
Yeah, it's interesting because bringing something back like that means you could play that in conjunction with the Reverberating Strike because of the discount.
Right.
So you develop, you essentially have enough to nuke most of what's left on the board. It accomplishes almost the same thing that Ice Storm does, but also leaves you with an
Ice
Iron.
Storm.
And
Well, yeah.
yeah, it leaves the Ice Storm in your hand, but also leaves you with Iron on the board. So that very well could be what he was considering there, but
Decides.
ultimately said, hey, these casters sometimes know what they're talking about.
Occasionally.
Takes advantage of the Ice Storm. And again, I think that's fine. Against a deck like Mage that has a lot of wards, getting even that much value out of an Ice Storm is probably good enough.
Now, I think if I'm Burn the Sky, I think if Link doesn't have another Ice Storm and doesn't have Dawn's Wrath, I'm going to win this game right now, right here.
Yeah, the good news for Link, though, is he has Reverberating Strike. So if both East Marches come down...
Could be great. Could be great.
We could see some value there.
It so rarely comes up, right? So often Reverberating Strike is just a worse crushing blow, but when it works... Whew,
yeah.
beautiful.
I would actually be really shocked if Burn the Sky played both, though.
Yeah.
Because of the presence of, like, Wardcrafter, Daggerfall Mage, part of me thinks you might Wardcraft the 5/3, because that forces out a Javelin, maybe develop the Daggerfall.
I really liked Wardcraft there as a verb. That was good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that was nice.
It's certainly not an easy decision for Burn the Sky.
Well, it's not an easy decision to turn a noun into a verb either, but you did it well. You handled it with grace, with style.
With swagger.
No.
By the 8th, they will meet their makers.
All right.
All right, so
Friend.
again,
This is good. This is a strong play.
yeah, kind of what we were talking about. You protect the 5/3. You say, I want you to have hard removal.
Yeah.
Daggerfall to challenge the 2/2 because you want the tome. You want to find some other options.
May the ancestors
Chooses
bless
now to
us.
pull the trigger on Iron. There's the negation back.
Wow, that's a really good negation.
It is. It is. So you combo negation and reverberating strike here. It's still not great, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually a bigger fan of just using the Javelin on the 5/3.
Yeah.
You still have, got the guard to deal with the Daggerfall. You don't want to give him a tome, but you're at 13 health.
Yeah. By the way, if anybody's keeping score, that would be Justin 1, Charmer 0 on the calls for things that could have happened last turn. not like something we're going to make a long list of because the turn's over, but... Okay, Sorcerers... Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's a really good pull by Burn the Sky.
It is.
That's a really good pull.
He's close to sealing this up. No life gain coming down next turn for Link.
Yeah, at least not without a top deck. Now, Link has a lot of quality outs.
Yeah.
If he finds an Oathman, for example, Oathman into Doppelganger can generate a ton of health in his favor.
Yeah.
Then when one of them dies, Solitaire can bring it back. He's
keep
got to
a
find the
blade in my
tools. But I like what is going on right now for Burn the Sky.
No matter what.
Marauder, not great. And Link's pickup here is Hive Defender. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in because Burn the Sky is on the cusp of threatening lethal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's got hella lethal on this on the other side of the board, dude.
I mean, right now, but you know, if a couple of guards
I
come
know.
down, right? We've got
Right.
Emperor's Blade, you've got Hive Defender. There are things Turquoise can do to slow down this board, but the presence of the Bolt, the Mudcrab Merchant, there are some things that can happen. Now, I like this play.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, that worked out.
Yes, I like that play a lot.
That really worked out. Is there something you Solitaire? Maybe not. Burn the Sky has lethal draws. That's not one of them. He's got lethal Mudcrab options.
Absolutely. Even if it's not lethal, something like a Tazcad goes a long way right now.
Yeah. How close are we to renaming this the Elder Scrolls Legends Mudcrab Merchant series at this point? Are we being hyperbolic? Because it feels like this card has exploded over the last 3 weeks.
I mean, it certainly has. Oh, Dawnstar. I think that's more of a defensive. Like, you don't want to give your opponent a gold brand at all.
You can't give Turquoise a Dawnstar.
But you cannot give him a Dawnstar. Again, this might be one of those mud crabs coming back to haunt Burn the Sky.
Gold brand's strong.
He may have just not paid a mud crab some time ago, and now they have a vendetta against him.
I can see where you're coming from with this, because these mud crabs have been all over the place.
And not in a good way for Burn the Sky.
No. Not the face place, which is where he wants them at the moment.
Yeah.
He wanted a lightning bolt.
Yeah, lightning bolt would have been great.
Would have also accepted Ice Spike into lightning bolt. You just drop all your stuff.
I've got you covered.
I'm a little surprised he decided to double up that lane.
Yeah, that's rough. Odoving coming down potentially next turn. Burn the Sky still has lethal draws.
So, Link with that doppelganger, does he just do it again? Because Ice Storm clears again.
Just go for the second Ice Storm. He's got I mean, there are other things in his discard pile, though.
Sure.
I mean, there's the negation.
But, I mean, it's still 2 irons on the board, so I would discount things like Javelin in his hand.
Yeah, it's not terrible. He could still, yeah, I mean, he could fall back then on. Well, no, he wouldn't have enough Magicka for Javelin, Hive Defender. It's tough. It's definitely tough. He chooses to double up on the guards.
Slay the unworthy.
And Burn the Sky draws Harpy. That'll keep that blade from swinging. Oh, this is tough. I'm caught up as a fan right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of rough to watch because Burn the Sky, again, second game in a row.
Right.
Generating pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And then just falling short, whether it's dead draws or, in the case of last game, like really painful mud crabs of driving the nail home. Meanwhile, Link is proving to be resilient in these games. You go back to the first series that we watched where he stabilized at 1 health. Last game stabilized pretty impressively, doing it again here.
Burn the Sky's just waiting on a lethal draw.
Yeah. And Link is just doing what Link does. Don't die.
Right. Drop Odoving.
Yeah, I mean, with 1 card in hand, I think that's a pretty safe Odoving. You can't afford to leave anything on the board.
No.
At 6 health, Link is certainly smart enough to know that 2 damage plus a lightning bolt is lethal, so...
Your storm is no match for mine.
I mean, we are just standing on the edge here. We have not fallen over yet. There's Cleric of Kind for Burn the Sky, not a lightning bolt, not an Incano, not a Supreme Atromancer. Although, you know what? Keeping the Cleric of Kind in hand actually makes Supreme Atromancer a lethal top deck. Whereas right now you can't combine that with Lightning Bolt. You don't have magic.
I'm going to go ahead and double check. I'm not sure if Burn the Sky was running Atromancer in his lists.
Oh yeah, good call. Lightning Bolt's face.
May we serve you with every word.
Lightning Bolting face was kind of a dangerous play there, I think. I wonder what the upside there.
Yeah, so just to verify, there is no Atromancer.
Okay.
Uncano is the top end there.
That makes the Lightning Bolt face make even less sense.
Well, what it does open up still though is Royal Sages. So he does have Royal Sages that could get charged.
There's always a way, and I can always find it.
Going for Lannick. And you grab Tribunal Oathman here, right?
Yeah. The other reason you might bolt face there is if Link were to push for lethal, let's say.
Yeah.
Opens up a Lightning Bolt Prophecy win.
Yeah, that's fair. Archcannon Sarioni.
Yeah.
1 turn.
Yeah, so this
Burn the Sky has 1 turn.
This is it. Burn the Sky essentially has to top deck a victory, or else Archcannon's going to give Odoving Drain and put this out of reach.
Oh my god! Holy crap! Wow! Camlorn Hero off the top is going to seal this up for Burn the Sky. Wow!
Wow!
Oh my god, dude. That was so close, down to the wire. And it makes... Wow.
TurquoiseLink was proving to be ultra resilient. Burn the Sky clutches victory from the jaws of defeat right there, right?
Right, because that was one turn away from an 11-point life swing, a 22-point life swing, 11-point life gain for TurquoiseLink.
Wow.
And that's going to put Burn the Sky up 2-1 over Link.
What an impressive finish.
Burn the Sky is 1 win away from making the final 2 today.
Yeah, Burn the Sky is a single win away from QuakeCon.
From Texas.
From Texas.
Yeehaw.
I mean, I don't think you feel bad if you're Link. You
No,
did everything right to survive.
You played that game really, really well.
Just lost to the top deck. Wow.
That was impressive. Wow is all I can think too.
So Mage is performing pretty well today between Santos Vela and Burn the Sky.
Definitely.
I gotta say I'm impressed with how these lists have been performing.
Mage, another class we just haven't seen much of until today.
All right, so Burn the Sky, only Tribunal Temple left.
Right. Has to win with this Tribunal Temple deck. Has 2 chances to do it against TurquoiseLink's Halalu and Uprising Temple.
What do you bring if you're Link here? I think I like my Tribunal matchup, but you have to win with Halalu eventually.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough, right?
I think I bring my Tribunal list, and then I just hope that my Halalu high rolls. You got to go runner. I mean, you have to win the next 2. I think you bring the Tribunal list, which you've seen be very successful so far, and you field tested against other control decks.
Yeah, I think that bringing the Tribunal list... I mean, you were so close to winning last game anyway.
I know, so close.
I'd be tempted to just jam that again, get the victory that I felt like I deserved the last round, and then let's go to Game 5 and hope I high roll with the Halalu.
How are you transitioning in the 2 minutes you have between these games? How are you getting yourself pumped up if you're Link?
I don't think Link needs any help getting pumped up. Like,
no?
he's...
Very steady player.
Yeah, he's a very steady hand, if you will.
Absolutely. I am just still kind of floored by that top deck.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple times now people hit that last opportunity to draw, and they've done it.
Yeah, last week we had a raiding party lethal. This week it's Camelor and Hero. Camelor and Hero top deck lethal, certainly not something I thought I'd be saying out loud today.
No, it never,
honestly,
it never even occurred to me as on the list of things that they could have drawn.
Yeah, great play, great finishes.
Absolutely. That was exciting to watch.
I think I want to hear from people, right? We haven't asked for very many call-outs, right?
Use the hashtag TESL.
TESL Masters. Again, that's hashtag TESL Masters.
I can barely
on Twitter.
Yeah.
Send us your thoughts. Who do you think's going to end up pulling this out? We know that Link's got 2 games to go.
Right.
We want to hear from you guys. And we still want to see
Mudcrabs
wearing
with cowboy hats. Because they're going to Texas. And where we're going is to this next game where we are going to see a Tribunal Temple mirror.
That sounds exciting.
I'm super excited. Wow, these opening hands look a lot different, don't they?
Yeah, a little bit. And it's interesting because, I was going to say, Link might be tempted to keep the greed. He had no early game presence there, but in a game like this, I don't think you're worried about it.
Speaking
you keep
of
the combos.
greed, these are both Ulfric's Uprising Tribunal Temple lists.
Yeah. This is going to be very interesting. Wow, Blood Magic Lord out of Burn the Sky as well, which I like in an Uprising list.
And it's one that's not in Turquoise's version, so these are not identical lists at all.
Yeah, I mean, as you kind of talked about earlier, Link very clearly wanted a toolbox. Yeah. So 7 through 12 are all very specific one-ofs, so he can know exactly what you're getting out of your Path Mage. Right. Burn the Sky, obviously running Blood Magic Lord, so that's going to butt up against Laneth.
Yeah, Blood Magic Lord's an interesting one. This is a very powerful card that we just don't see nearly as much of as we used to.
It's the sort of thing that could be a mirror breaker because Blood Magic spells getting back Raise Dead, Blood Magic spells getting those Drain Lives. We've already seen Drain Life
huge
potentially have an impact today.
Right. Potentially. Didn't it kill a guy?
No, he stabilized.
Did he?
No move we can't anticipate.
All right, so Marak the draw for
no,
Link.
it killed a guy.
Not where you want to be on turn 4, but it might not matter, right? Like these pokes with the camels, the masterminds. Oh, Link drawing Aftermancer there now too. Well, if he gets that far, he looks.
Yeah,
pretty
again, it's going to be really interesting to see if Burn the Sky decides to be the aggressor. On the one hand, typically in control mirrors, you don't want to give your opponent too many resources. On the other hand, if they've already got a handful of cards, just make them overdraw.
Right. Necromancer's not going to do much. Iron not going to do much. Is there a world where you doppelganger your camel here? Apparently not.
Probably not. And again, Link with the late game bomb. So, you know, we talked about Blood Magic Lord potentially being one of those mirror breaking type cards.
Yeah.
Atramancer is certainly that as well.
Yes.
Atramancer with an Ulfric's Uprising is
Huge.
Disgusting. Atramancer with a Night to Remember is disgusting.
Yes.
Again, Marakan and Kano, both huge cards with
These are
summon
just
effects.
Incredible summon abilities. I mean, you see both players' hands just absolutely full of those kinds of cards. An Iron Uprising, potentially obnoxious, right? If you have no other actions in your discard pile.
Oh, certainly. I mean, if you have Iron on the board and you may just play Uprising, crush it.
Necromancer into Mastermind, just looking to grind out more value here. I like it though. Burn the Sky actually looks like a really commanding position at this point. I mean, Link is going to try to land some of these late game bombs. The first one, Supreme Aftermancer, is going to get met with an Ice Storm. I wonder, do you know if Burn the Sky and Link had any discussions about this? I mean, this is the first time we've seen anybody play Uprising Tribunal in our top 8, and both players doing it the same week is kind of interesting.
I mean, it's possible that they've spoken with each other. Maybe they did some play testing. It's also possible that it's entirely a coincidence. Even you and I had conversations last night about how I felt Tribunal Uprising decks have the potential to be like the next big thing.
Right.
You know, right now, Telvanni, Scout, they're heavily favored because of how powerful Drain Vitality is.
Yeah.
But if there's ever any changes to that, or if that's ever something that falls out of favor, Necromancer, Uprising, all those cards are powerful enough that I think that a deck like this could go a long way.
I agree.
Also, I mean, we've been saying for a couple of weeks now, Uprising decks in general are some of the most powerful things you can do, whether it's Telvanni or Scout.
Yeah.
By bringing a Tribunal version, it's just one more deck your opponent can't ban that runs Uprising, right? If it's the best thing you can do in a format, then why not do it more?
Yeah, I have to agree.
Do you think we'll end up seeing like Uprising Dagoth decks as a result?
I certainly hope so. I actually spent last season trying to build Uprising Sorcerer. I lost a lot of games.
I am not shocked by that.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're hitting the part where things are about to be really interesting.
Wait, what if Uprising is what it takes to bring Spellsword back? Spellsword runs stuff that's in this deck. This deck's pretty good.
You lost me at Spellsword.
Yeah, I know.
So I was starting to say, we're at the part where things are about to be really interesting. Both players hitting the top end of their curve.
Right.
We might start seeing Blood Magic Lords. We might start seeing Atramancers.
Might start seeing Uprisings.
Might start seeing Uprisings. This is, you know, all the turns before were kind of like leading up to big, powerful plays, and we are on the cusp of seeing that.
Right. I don't think you ever want to drop... Yeah, I mean, Blood Magic Lord was playable this turn. I'm glad Burn the Sky didn't play it. Do you start breaking runes if you Burn the Sky? I'm kind of into it.
I mean, your opponent has a lot of cards.
Yeah.
Giving them more isn't necessarily hurting you too much.
Right.
It also might force them to make poor decisions. I honestly think Burn the Sky didn't play Blood Magic Lord that spell because they wouldn't have the Magicka to play it, and they would have had a handful of cards, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So Burn the Sky, because their hand was so full, found themselves in an awkward spot. Attacking Link might have put him in a similar position, but instead, Ops did not do it.
Casting the time is huge here.
Yeah. Speaking of cards that could also be a mirror breaker here, clearly both players running Cast into Time, but the targets you hit with it could determine the outcome of this game.
Absolutely. So I've gotten a hold of Burn the Sky's Tribunal list here, and also running the Genius Path Mage package. It looks like 2 Blood Magic Lords instead of any Supreme Atromancers, but otherwise very similar.
Yeah, these decks are incredibly similar when you look at
Both
top
running
end.
the Tribunal Oathman, which is a card we rarely see on the ladder, rarely see in tournaments. Making an appearance in 2 players' lists in the top 4 is some pretty fascinating, coincidence and convergence of deck building theory.
Now, I know we're supposed to be impartial, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just going to go ahead and declare TurquoiseLinks to be the superior version because he has Worm King's Agent.
See, actually, that's why I think it's worse. It's funny. It's funny how that works.
All right, so TurquoiseLink plays the Necromancer.
Yeah.
In many ways, I almost feel like this is a posturing play. He's saying, I'm going to keep playing stuff that I'm forcing you to kill, or else I'm going to get value off an Uprising.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the Uncano felt like last turn. It's certainly what this play here feels like as well.
Right. Burn the Sky, it looks like they're trying to set up
My child.
my child. Did you hear that?
Yes. Burn the Sky has a lot of gas. It's going to be really interesting to watch how this unfolds because Link has powerful summon effects. Burn the Sky has a lot of combo pieces.
Yeah.
2 Uprisings, the Doppelganger.
Right.
It's like they're 2 halves of the same whole, and whoever finds the other half first is going to really push things in their favor. Burn the Sky has board presence working for him, though.
Yeah, and honestly, I like the approach of just sort of chipping away at life here. You have, if you're Burn the Sky, you have 2 Lightning Bolts in hand. You have 2 Uprisings. You have a Doppelganger, a Blood Magic Lord. You have a lot of ability to push. And by making TurquoiseLink the reactive player here, I think you're doing what you need to be doing.
Well, Link, I think, is recognizing that, and he's saying, you know what? I'm gonna put a little bit of pressure back.
Right, demand an answer.
Could end up seeing an Ice Storm as an answer. Or we could just see Burn the Sky attack, play like a Blood Magic Lord, and try to set up a lethal for the next turn. Because that is certainly a path.
It definitely is. I think that if TurquoiseLink wants to race and you Burn the Sky, I think you say, hey, let's race.
It might be tempting. The problem, though, is I'm not sure that you can afford to. Atromancer might be that one card that says, you can't race me. If you think your opponent has like a Night to Remember in multiples, clearly the decks are running Uprising.
Oh, and I think you have to kill the Atromancer itself. I think you have to Lightning Bolt it.
All right, so we're going to see some Doppelganger action.
On Archcannon. Now, worth pointing out, you can't Exalt, but what you can do is trigger any of those 3 abilities.
Yeah, and I like this play because it allows that Camel to trade with the Atronach in the field, gain some health, and survive, right? Like it's a value trade.
Or you just push all this damage and you harpy one of these 2 Atronachs. You say, hey, I don't think you have a...
Oh.
That could be huge. But you're also putting Link at 8.
Yeah, personally, I was a big fan of leaving him at 11, not giving him one last rune, making that value trade.
Right.
But
this could be all over here in just a second. There is no mass removal spell in Link's hand. I mean, this is huge.
Yeah, he did force Link to overdraw. That might have been the reasoning behind breaking that last rune.
Yeah. Right, potentially 2 overdraws if the one card hadn't been a prophecy.
No mass removal, but Link does have 3 Sorcerer's Negations. So a lot of single target removal at his fingertips.
Yeah, Link can clear. Trade in the field lane, negation, 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 cast into time.
Or even if they want to save the cast into time.
Oh wait, no, it doesn't clear.
Maybe Tree Minder is a speed bump. Link's got some work to do here.
Yeah.
I think Burn the Sky is showing that having the powerful cards might not be enough. It might be the combo pieces that matter more.
Right. And of course, none of this gains Link any life. Burn this guy is a top tick away from winning.
And as we've seen, Burn This Guy is certainly capable of doing just that.
Definitely. Yeah, this is huge.
Yeah, Link is taking his time because he knows he is playing from behind.
Right.
And also, he's not in a position where he can afford. All right,
That's game.
I think that's like the equivalent of Link conceding.
Swing for 2, swing for 3.
I can't think of any prophecy that saves him at this point. Like, even if he stops the creature,
Nothing
the
that
lightning
does
bolt is going to be the victory.
Right. And that's it. Burn the Sky is going to find themselves
going to QuakeCon.
Wow. In our top 2.
Yeah.
That
going
is
to
huge.
the finals for today.
That is huge.
Congratulations, Burn the Sky.
Congratulations, yeah.
Well played.
I'm a little shocked. I mean, like, Link is a fantastic player who did really impressive things to get to this point, but Burn the Sky really just kind of crushed him.
I don't think that's the case at all.
No?
No. That game, sure. That was feeling very heavy-handed towards Burn the Sky, but the last game, Link was a turn away from stabilizing.
Yeah.
Burn the Sky got away with one with that top deck.
That's
played
true.
to his out.
That is true.
Fantastic play.
Yeah.
But like everything felt like Link was about to stabilize until that Camelorn hero. So.
You're definitely right about that. He was about to gain 11 life.
Yeah.
2 games ago. But wow. I mean, I have to say, Burn the Sky coming to just crush that last game at least.
Well, the good news is
I'm stuck on crushing because that last game felt so crushing.
Yeah. It felt soul crushing, but again, Burn This Guy just kind of had that momentum from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Had more of the combo pieces.
Seemed to approach the game in the right way to bring it home like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Good news is Link is still not out of this, right?
Definitely not.
Still has a chance to earn a spot at QuakeCon.
Right, let's take a look at our bracket.
Taking a look at the bracket here. Burn the Sky earned a spot in the finals, earned a spot at QuakeCon. Congratulations. Link will play for that 3rd spot.
Right.
And coming up soon, we're going to see Mazaboom, who has some interesting lists, against Santos Vela, who we know
is also running some interesting lists, running the full Mudcrab Merchants package. But yeah, Mazaboom has some stuff we haven't seen in this tournament yet, and I'm really excited to bring in just a couple minutes in our next match.
Yeah, so if you're ready for some spice, stick around, and we will be right back.